Anne's experience with Folsom's democratic populism helped to shape the political perspective she adopted over the coming months and years. Yet her enthusiasm for the Folsom campaign was still no cure for her restlessness. Living at home became increasingly stifling, and the row over the cycle job was only one of several conflicts between her and her parents. Anita McCarty did not approve of her daughter's drinking and confronted her whenever Anne came in late and tipsy, as Anne described it in a letter to Harriet. Her mother also felt Anne worked too hard, and her constant prodding to reconnect with high school friends got on Anne's nerves. Many of those friends had married their high school sweethearts and settled into lives very much like Anita McCarty's. Anne still considered that a fate worse than death. Partially because she was gone so much of the time, her parents knew little about her social life, but they did know that she spent her free time with other star employees, many of whom they considered beneath them socially. Although Anne tried to avoid open conflicts with her family, she began to feel as if her real life took place somewhere else. In 1946, the petite, dark-haired young writer had her first serious love affair. With a former star reporter her parents found eminently unsuitable. Like Anne, Marshall Johnson had grown up in Alabama, but had grown past many of the region's widely accepted mores. He and Anne shared a kind of disdain for the society around them. He was 28 to her 21 years, and had worked on the Star and other newspapers before the war. When he returned to Anniston to freelance in 1945, the two began dating. Johnson had grown up poor, and he was not much concerned with impressing people. I was quite infatuated with him because he was talented. I could talk to him. He understood how oppressed I felt by racism, and he was too, but he came from what my family considered the wrong side of the tracks. They didn't think he was proper for me to go with at all, but I liked him so much better than the people I met at the country club dances, because he was doing the kind of work I was doing. In a way, I loved him, but he couldn't get himself together. He drank a lot. Anne drank a good bit herself, as did many of her fellow reporters, but never let it interfere with her work. Her relationship with Johnson continued to deepen despite her parents' disapproval and her own misgivings about his stability. The more she was exposed to the working-class world her parents thought of as the wrong side of the tracks, the more vital and attractive she found it. Anne was unsure what shape her adult life would take, but she was crystal clear that she did not want a life like that of so many women around her. That impulse set her apart from many of her own social class in Anniston, who, as Anne saw it, seemed to harbor no greater aspirations than to be well-to-do wives, mothers, and hostesses. She demanded to be taken seriously as a human being, not as a plaything. Anne was most driven by her career ambition, and one quality she sought in a man was the ability to accept her as a working woman, a peer. Letters to friends in her college and post-college years concentrated mostly on her career or her interior struggles of right and wrong, and sometimes on politics and literature, rarely mentioning her love interests at all. When Anne did discuss her romantic life with Harriet or other long-distance friends, she puzzled over the challenge of finding such a man. Around the nation, other career-minded women faced a similar quandary. Post-war films, books, and advertisements groomed women for professional success, even as they celebrated female domesticity and prepared men to expect it of their wives and mothers. Although the next few years would see a resurgence of the domestic ideal, such messages were never again as thoroughgoing as they had been earlier in the century, but coexisted with other, less familiar prescriptions for women, suggesting that female success in the public sphere was also desirable.